This is what I needed.
Yeah.
Cheap wine.
Who says it's cheap?
The 1 liter action is where you put your pinky up. Welcome to another episode of Don't Quote Me. We are on our second episode of season 2. We've got a very, very, very special guest today. Kate Christy's in the house of the infamous Folk Founded. If you don't know who Kate Christy is, we're going to let her introduce herself. But before we do that, I want to say Kate's one of my favorite collaborators that I have currently when it comes to any of the work that we do. You not only did all of the Vance Company branding, you've helped us on countless projects. We work together regularly all the time. I got the great fortune of meeting you almost 3 years ago now when I was working at Closer and Closer, and I think we became thick as thieves fairly quickly, even though like you had to continue on with that project without me. Godspeed, so sorry, apologies. But also, you're one of my favorite people to work with, and I wanted to start there before I ask you the very first question, which is, who are you? Could you tell us in a few sentences? Who the heck are you from your perspective outside of the intro I just gave you?
Okay, well...
Also, thanks for the cheap wine.
Yeah, cheers. Cheers.
Great wine. In our plastic cups on the hotel rooftop in Portland.
Only the classiest. Thank you for that marvelous introduction. And you're one of my favorite collaborators, too, so we're going to start there. I'm Kate Christy. I am a designer. I'm a mom. I'm long-distance hiker. I am a human, but I guess around what I do as a professional, a creative professional, brand and web design. And I work with a lot of different people, a lot of different walks of life. Like, really, for me, it boils down to working with cool people doing cool things, not necessarily industry specific or objective specific. It's just, what comes along that feels exciting and feels like something that is exciting to be a part of.
Okay, very cool. Folk Founded, the name. How did you get to this point with that name? Can you tell us about Folk Founded? Obviously, you said branding and development, but like, help us unpack that name.
Okay. Wow. All right. Big question. So I think one of the hardest things to do as a professional is to pick a name. And, I did go that classic Kate Christy design route.
Really?
Again with cat's out of the bag. Yes, I did. But because it feels very important. It is very important. And so I went the classic Kate Christy insert design at the end of it route for a little while until I really kind of figured out what I was doing, where I was going, who I wanted to work with. And then that's kind of when this like working with cool people doing cool things clicked, is that what really lit me up was working with people who are so excited about what they're doing, right? They're taking a leap of faith. They're going all in on a dream or a goal or an idea. They might just be like, let's see what happens.
Let's make a bookmark.
Let's make a bookmark. Let's see what shakes loose, right? And so being a part of that part of other people's processes, right, was so exciting because you kind of got to relive that over and over again. And like selfishly, I'm like, I get to be a part of this. Like, this is exciting to, be behind the scenes, like see how people's dreams and ideas are unfolding, and it's exciting. It's scary for them, but it's like also exciting to be that person who can be like, no, like you can do this, like to be a cheerleader, to be a coach, to be someone who can like really help push them over that leap, right, to start something. So that's kind of where Folk Founded came, with like cool folks founding their businesses, and that's it.
That's awesome. I don't know if I've ever actually asked you that question, so I'm very happy that I did. Okay, so what is it about design specifically that keeps you coming back? Because the design world, obviously these days, there's a lot going on. Obviously people think that they can just tell a prompt or a large language model, like, hey, give me this thing and I'm going to get the design that I want. Some people can do that and that's enough for them. But you keep returning to design as like a craft, and it clearly is enriching for you, but like what makes you keep returning to it?
I think there's a lot of nuance, and there's a lot there. Like, I keep coming back to, where are these little moments of delight, whether it's something massive, right, or whether it's just this like teeny tiny like peekaboo, like the opportunity to not only just solve a problem, but to do it in a way that's fun, that's energetic, that's joyful, that is just maybe just for fun too, right? Like, I think sometimes design can like, it can be very serious, and it's like, we gotta think about the data, we gotta think about logistics. It's like, sometimes like, wouldn't it be like really fun to just do this thing because it's fun? Like said bookmark, right? So I think not taking it too seriously and leaving room for play and like exploration and just making cool shit to make cool shit sometimes, like, that's, I don't know, that's life. That's part of this process that just is continually unfolding. And I think to like hang it up and walk away from it because there are these things that exist feels silly and dark.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. What a great answer. Also, I think it's very self-evident if anyone that's ever worked with you, the play is very serious in like a really healthy way. Like, if it's not fun, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what are we doing?
I love that. Okay. What is good design in your opinion? And has that definition changed at all for you since you determined the first definition?
I think good design is, in like a simple way, is it solves the problem. It accomplishes the goal, right? But I also think, like, beyond that, it's the experience, it's the journey, it's not the destination, right? So like there's like the two parts of it, right? It's like everything that comes before it's out in the world, or everything that comes before that reaction that you're looking for from your audience, or whatever the end goal is. But I think it's like coming back to this play, right? It's like, if we're not having a good time doing it, if it's not exciting, if it's not fulfilling, if it's not enriching, if it's just this like plug and play, I don't think that's good design, right? Or maybe that's I don't think that's a good life.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
But I think it's a way to solve a problem in having the most like joyful or delightful experience in the process, before, during, after, right? I think there's so much focus on like, what's the after, right? And then it's like, all of it should be part of the experience, and all of it should be enjoyed.
There's a clip right there. There's a clip. Let's pull that one. That was really good. Okay, has that changed at all for you? Is that something that you've evolved into? Like, because when you first started design, I'm assuming, based off of some of our conversations, you were like, if I'm just a good designer, more work's going to come, or more things are going to evolve. But I think I'm assuming on some level that has evolved and or changed.
Well, I mean, I think they're like, I'll like, full transparency, like, there's the show work, there's the dough work, and then there's the stuff that just really lights you up, right? Sometimes it's both, sometimes it's one or the other. That's the reality of working as a designer for a living. But I think that, like, your priorities shift a little bit, right? Like, sometimes you get into something because it's exciting, it's fulfilling, right? And then you get a little taste of like, ooh, like, I got this client, and maybe like this like kind of stair step of like moving up in the ranks and like type of clientele or the type of jobs that you're doing. And then sometimes, like, if you don't stop and look back, sometimes you can find yourself in this like, oh my gosh, like, what am I doing here? How did I get here? Why am I here? And so I think doing those things that maybe don't make sense sometimes, doing those things that are for funsies, or doing those things that you can kind of look farther down the line and be like, there's a means to an ends with what I'm doing right now, even though it doesn't make maybe financial sense, or maybe it doesn't make like time sense or energy sense right now. So I think, what was the question?
You're answering it. How has it changed for you when it
How
comes
has it changed for me? Yeah, it's not so much as like what I'm looking at the end of the day, right? It's like, how do I feel about my life? Like, how do I feel about what I'm spending my time doing? How do I feel about who I'm spending my energy on and with, and what I'm working on?
Fire. All right, tell us about a hurdle that you've had to leap in order to grow creatively or professionally.
Kate, you want to answer this one?
I could, but I'm interviewing you.
Oh, a hurdle.
Yeah, something you've had to grow creatively or professionally.
Oh,
you should just tell the truth.
I'm going to tell the truth. Charging more money for my services.
Okay. Why was it hard for you to charge more for your services?
Okay. This is how I feel about this, and this is what I think.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to tell you. I think that when you're so close to something that is a skill, that is a craft, that's something that feels, I don't want to sound like an ass, but like it feels easy, that comes naturally, right? Like you cannot see the value of this thing that you are bringing to the world or that you're bringing to the table from the perspective of someone who doesn't share that skill set, who doesn't share those abilities. So, you know, someone comes to me and asks me to do something, I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem, that's easy, right? They can't do that. So I think there's always this disconnect between the value of what I'm doing, and you know, the more I do it, the easier it gets. Right. So there's this like, oh, like that takes me less time, maybe I should charge less money, but that's not how it works.
Exactly.
Right? I'm telling myself this. That's not how it works, Kate. So I think there's always this disconnect that you have to consciously make this connection of, just because it comes naturally, or just because it's easy or quick for me to do, it's easier or quick for me to do because I've been doing this for 15 years. You know, because I'm good at what I do, because I have this skill set for whatever reason, right? This person's coming to me because they need this, because they want to work with me, because they want to collaborate on this project. So I think like closing that gap mentally and emotionally is really hard, because I'm like, oh, I know how to do this. That's easy to do. So I think that's like been the biggest hurdle, and I'm over it. No, I'm not over it.
Still working on it.
Still working on it.
Yep.
Work in progress.
Yep. All right. The funny part is, like, I love what you just said, because the next question is like, how are you staying humble? Because in my experience, yeah, it was such a quick answer.
Honesty.
I think, I mean, honestly, that's an accurate answer.
I think also being a parent makes this one easy, is because you're really aware of this work in progress, this I'm always learning, right? We were talking about this earlier about, you know, when I was younger, I thought like adults had it figured out. I thought, I was like, oh, they know what they're doing, they know what they're talking about. And then you become an adult and you're like, what's this noise? Like, I don't know everything. Like, they were kind of fudging it, right? And so I think this being wide open to understanding it's a work in progress, it's always learning, and you're going to make mistakes, and if you don't make mistakes, like, that's just not how it works. Like, that's not reality. And so, you know, that's something that with my kids that I'm very conscious of, is like, I messed that up, or I don't know how to do that, or let me figure that out, or let me try that again. And I think that's softened me up to interactions like that with clients too, of like, actually, I don't know the answer to that. I don't have the answer. I don't know anything about what you're talking about right now, but I will. You know, and when you're young and you're green, you don't want to come off as like, I don't know what I'm doing, and then like ties back to the money thing. It's like, oh my God, they're paying me a lot of money. Like, I need to know what I'm talking about, or I need to at least act like I know what I'm talking about. So I think it's just being open and honest and transparent, because when you don't leave any doors open for someone to be like, oh my gosh, like, I feel blindsided because we didn't talk about this, or this came out of the blue, right? Typically, no one ever gets mad when you're just really honest about what's up. And, you know, if you don't know something, or if you're working on something, or if you're figuring something out.
saying I don't know is actually kind of freeing, because
Mm-hmm.
it allows not only the other person to be like, oh, they're listening,
Mm-hmm.
and they're actually comprehending what I'm communicating, but like, as you said, that can lead to a connection point. Sometimes saying I don't know is actually a good thing, because
Yeah.
like then it allows for you to like discover and then
Mm-hmm.
learn and understand, which
Yeah.
if you just pretend like you know all the time, there's no space.
Yeah, and if I could go on a little tangent for a second,
Of course.
I think that one of the biggest bummers about becoming an adult and running your own business is that the time for curiosity and exploration feels like it gets like, smaller and smaller increments. And so when something like that crops up of like, oh, I don't know, or let me figure that out, it's like, yeah, like
Yeah.
I get to go on a little side quest right now and learn something new and try something new and kind of flex different muscles and figure something out. So
Hell yeah.
it's always exciting when that happens.
Hell yeah. Wine break.
Let the record show we needed the second bottle.
I think what you were just communicating is actually going to lead very well into the next question,
Perfect.
especially around motherhood. So, what has motherhood taught you about creativity and or leadership?
Don't hold things so tightly. Be less precious with things. Before becoming a parent, I was kind of like really, I don't want to say buttoned up because that's not true, but I feel like I had this approach that was more presentable, more polished, more, like kind of, and this has actually changed like my working style, I believe, where it was this like explore every angle, like work through all these problems behind the scenes before coming to the client with this like ta-da like presentation, where I feel like, okay, like I'm like really coming at them with like a great idea, a grand idea, like we're so excited. That was a hummingbird. There's a hummingbird. Oh, did you see it?
Oh, it's
Get
right
it?
here. There's a hummingbird. Oh, it went. It left. It left. Man, that was pretty.
I feel like I have to wow them, right? Or I have to come across knowing what the hell I'm doing, right?
Mhm.
With kids, and obviously not knowing what I'm doing at all, right? I am learning as I'm going. I kind of adopted this style of let's figure this out together. Let's work collaboratively. I'm going to show you rough ideas. I'm going to show you half-baked things, and I want to talk about it. I want to figure out, are we going in the right direction, or do we need to go backwards a little bit and, go in the other direction? So I think it's made me approach design from a less precious angle, where I feel like I can show up messy, I can show up with half-baked ideas, but pull the client into the process more and make them feel like we're doing it together, whether instead of this like I'm over here, you're over there, and we're meeting in the middle and I'm telling you what's up. So that's kind of changed how I approach work.
You've invited people into the process instead of just sitting over there. Even though you are the expert, you're allowing them to participate in the play.
True. Lovely. Eloquently put.
Just summarizing over here. Just listening and summarizing over here. All right. You live in Virginia. This is special from our opinion. How does your locale shape the way you approach creativity and community?
It's a non-issue. It's a non-thing.
It's a non-thing? You don't think where you live affects
I live
it?
in my bubble.
You live in your own little bubble?
I live in my bubble in my house. All my friends are on the internet.
Say more about that. Because, I mean, I think that's actually true. You do have a lot of internet friends.
Story time. The year was 2014. I was working for someone else when we moved to Virginia. So we used to live in North Carolina, moved to Virginia, was working for them remotely. So this transition was kind of like, let's see how long this works out. And so at that point in time, I was working from home by myself and then had my first child. So then I was working home by myself, taking care of my first child. So this created a very small world for me. And so I never really got, and then from that job, I went right into running my own business. So I never put myself in another scenario that was those like traditional ways of building community, meeting people, because I was like in the thick of it with starting a business, in the thick of it with motherhood. And so then as time went on, I was like, oh my God, it's just me over here.
Right. Does anybody in your local community even know that your business?
No.
Oh, that's actually kind of crazy.
Right? So I kind of unintentionally created this bubble inside my house, inside my, raising small children, and then the children just kept multiplying, and then, we all know what, pandemic. So it just, my world got very small. And so, yeah, like no one in Roanoke knows I exist, which feels like.
You got like a little secret.
Yeah. Little secret.
But there's plenty of people online that know you exist because that's how we connected.
Yeah, true. I thought about joining the Chamber of Commerce. Might still do that. I don't know.
But
we
why?
could. It just could be fun. I don't know. Anyways, all my friends are online. All my exes live in Texas, and so where I live does not influence my work at all.
Okay. I love that. I love that you
short.
that's one of our first questions that have been completely flipped. Like that's not a thing.
Next.
All right. You've partnered with us on many creative projects at this point. Mm-hmm. What do you look for in a working partnership?
Vibes.
Check.
I think what makes a really good collaboration or partnership is where you kind of you think about things overall in a very similar way. Like there's no friction in terms of like methodologies or how we're going to get there, but there's very minimal crossover in like our hard skills where it's very complementary. It's very, I'm in my lane, you're in your lane, but we're talking the same language.
Yes.
And I think that's how we do so well together.
Is that also how you like in general with other working relationships as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. You stay in your lane, I'll stay in my lane, but we're going to talk the same language.
Yeah, because I think if you're collaborating with someone who's like, for example, I do brand design and I do web design, and if I'm collaborating with someone who's doing one or the other, there's this tension, there's this friction of I can do both of those things, right? And it's not that I don't want to do one of those things or I'm passing the baton to someone else. There's always this, I have an idea or I have a tweak or I have a what if or what if we tried that. Whereas when you have two distinct like zones of expertise, but you're working towards the same goal and you're agreeing on how you're getting there and you're kind of thinking about things or approaching problem solving in the same way,
right?
It makes it very smooth, and you're also like sharing the weight, the workload, right? Where it doesn't feel like this tension, this push and pull. It feels like we're moving
forward
together.
Cool.
Simultaneously.
Great answer. Sweet. All right, we're going to go into quick fires. You ready?
Sure.
All right. Dream client, alive or dead?
Does it have to be like, can I just taco truck? I don't care who you are.
Just any
taco
taco truck. You want to work for you want to do some brand work for a taco truck?
Do you have a taco truck? Taco truck.
No, we're putting it out in the universe. If you have a taco truck, folk founded.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite font?
Ugh.
I know.
That's hard.
Pick some.
Okay, right now I'm really into Perfectly 90s by Jen Wagner.
We gotta like.
I also love a chunky, like thick sans serif that's like, I'm here to party. Like, I'm legible, but like I'm here to party.
So like for like posters or like giant like mural type things, is that where you'd put that? Like I'm just spitballing. I don't know.
Anywhere. You don't have to follow any rules.
You don't have to follow. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other ones that like are jumping out to you right now?
No.
Those are the two? Cool.
No.
All right. One thing that is always on your desk.
A really creepy inkwell from my grandmother, my great-grandmother. It's like a little monster.
I feel like that is a very specific and true insight into who you are as a person. Sorry. All right. Favorite Design inspo album. Music. Like music that you listen to for inspiration for design.
Oh, it's not inspiration. It's more like habitual activities, but it's the Man from Snowy River soundtrack.
The Man from Snowy River? That's a great soundtrack. Okay.
It's a banger.
Okay. What is your creative kryptonite? Just sounds. Just making sounds. For the record, she's had like 4 sips of wine. It has not been that much wine.
No. Creative kryptonite.
Yeah, what's the thing that trips you up?
Oh, when I know I've charged too little money and the client asks for more changes and more changes and more changes. Like when I think when
Boundaries.
when I lose the plot on a project and I know I have to do it and I want to do a good job, and then it's like friction.
Boundaries.
Charge more money.
Yeah. Plain and simple. What is your secret? How do you work so passionately, diligently, and efficiently while still being a great mom, making time for adventures, and keeping such a cool head? How can others do it too?
This is gonna sound so bad out of the gates. You kind of got to care a little bit less. And what I mean by that is, like I was talking about earlier, about like holding things too tightly or being too precious about things, and like I think like loosening the reins a little bit, giving yourself the space to mess up, to make mistakes, to ask questions, to look stupid sometimes. And I think, you know, with making time and space for all the things, it's one thing that I kind of say over and over again as being a mom and being an entrepreneur is sometimes it's not a no, it's just a not right now, and I have to learn to like put things to the side or put things on a back burner and be okay with not ticking some goals off the list or pursuing certain projects or working towards certain goals, and just like kind of letting go and like kind of lowering, God, this sounds real bad saying it out loud, lowering expectations a little bit and kind of loosening the reins, and just kind of putting the energy into the thing right in front of you. And sometimes that's kids, and sometimes that's work, and sometimes that's abandoning kids and work to go hike in the woods for 20 days and making peace with that. And so I think it's kind of like unbuttoning a little bit and letting it get messy.
Where can people find you? What's the best spot for them to reach out? All those kinds of things, and talk to that camera.
Okay.
About, like, hey, you know, find me here, here, and here.
Okay. I'm on the internet.
Beyond the internet.
Exclusively. Not in person.
Right. This isn't actually happening. Holograms.
My website's folkfounded.com. I do have an Instagram, but I'm not there very often.
She is on occasion. She goes hard in the paint for like a couple days, and then she ghosts.
Yep, that's accurate. But that's also at folkfounded.
Cool.
That's it.
Any other spots that people can reach out to you? Kate at folkfounded.com.
Yep, Kate at folkfounded.com.
For the email?
Correct.
Cool. You can also, if you want to work with her, you can reach out to us. We'll get you in touch.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to work with us too.
But yeah, you're going to be stuck with us too, though. That's kind of how that works.